for celiac disease.
Yes.
Is that an inflammation of the intestines, or is the inflammation a direct sequence of that? And what would you suggest for a 5-year-old and a 42-year-old in the form of fish oil?
Well, now celiac disease, there's two parts of this. There's celiac disease that can be confirmed by antibody positive analysis. And this means the wheat protein has somehow gotten into the bloodstream and has caused a formation of antibodies to the gluten. Now, these antibodies are constantly circulating. And so if you see, if the GI tract sees any gluten, these antibodies will basically adhere to it. And if you keep on eating gluten with these antibodies in the system, eventually the microvilli, that's how you absorb food, get basically withered away. And it's very hard to absorb. There's a second group of people who have symptoms. They're, let's say, celiac sensitive, but they don't have any antibodies to celiac. Now, in these cases, where are the primary sources of the gluten antibodies? They come from wheat. Now, why would they be sensitive if they don't have an antibody response? Because the wheat will be entering the bloodstream at a high level, and if you're also eating a lot of omega-6 fatty acids, you're going to basically now have increased inflammation. So they feel much better when they don't eat wheat, because you're taking one of the driving forces to make arachidonic acid out of the equation. So you have two groups of people, those who are celiac sensitive, they're sensitive to gluten, and those who have a true gluten insensitivity that you can measure by antibodies. Two separate groups. The solution is the same for both. Don't eat products that contain gluten. And because by doing so, you squeeze off, stop the inflammation either induced by antibodies or inflammation induced by increased production of arachidonic acid. So now to the 5-year-old and the 42-year-old, here's my suggestion. Don't eat wheat products.
But what about the fish oil?
Oh, and take lots of fish oil.
But what is the doses?
Well, the doses, again, if you think you're sensitive, again, it would be in the range of 2.5 to 5 grams a day of omega-3 fatty acids.
Yeah. And for the 42-year-old, the same as the 5-year-old?
Yep. The amount of omega-3 fatty acids you need does not depend on your age, weight, or sex. It depends on your levels of inflammation and where it's located. So you might have a 5-year-old child who has ADHD. They might need 15 grams of omega-3 fatty acids. You might have an 85-year-old individual who basically is taking good care of themselves that needs only maybe 2.5 grams.